Greetings, geckos. Today we hop on over to the Haligonians and prance with the Pittsburghers. Only thing I'll say is, it should be Halifaxian.
High from the ribs that we
I
eat.
am buzzing off the ribs. I am high off barbecue sauce. I ate a whole half a rib and a quarter chicken. I need to get it in me. I can't get enough of those ribs.
We went to Rib Fest.
We ain't gonna go. We went to the Rib Fest.
We went and ate some ribs.
It was so good, you guys.
It was very good.
I'm not a big rib guy.
I'm not a meat person.
And Kendra had a couple bites of ribs.
But it was delicious. It was well worth it.
It was very, very delicious.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, I'm Kendra.
And I am Blake.
You are. And this is
Ghosts of the Gazette.
Kind of forgot that I had to do that with you.
Me too.
Where old news brings on new voices.
And where forgotten headlines come back to life.
Amazing. It is June 29th, episode 20.
Episode 20. You guys, we made it to 20.
20.
10 plus 10, 20. We're in the 20s.
What's the fraction on that?
My all-time favorite Kendra quote.
Today we're traveling to the year 1986, and we'll be talking about stories that take place in Halifax, Nova Scotia.
As well as the Pit.
The Pit.
I either do a story in Chicago or the Pit. I feel like I've been to the Pit a couple times.
You like the Pit.
For those of you that aren't familiar with the Pit, it's Pittsburgh.
It's Pittsburgh.
It's Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
And go watch the show of the Pit because
it's amazing.
Baby Jane Doe. That wasn't even planned. We'll also have some extras for you.
Yeah, we got a bunch of those little extras.
They're fun.
So Kendra, you are going to start us off today, correct?
Okay,
I've been buzzing ready for this story of yours.
So I have been dying to tell you the story. Also, I've been dying to do the research on the story because I have not done the research in it. I lived in it, but I did not do the research for a very particular reason. Anyways.
So back when Kendra and I first started hanging out, dating. I don't know, whatever
Chilling.
I don't know.
Chill-maxing.
What are we?
What are we? Oh my gosh. We haven't had this conversation.
This is tough. You guys are hearing this first live on the pod. This is episode 20, and I think Kendra and I need to figure out what we are.
Ooh, awkward.
All right, let's do it next episode. But you brought up this story.
Yes.
Just basically like I lived somewhere where there was a murder.
Yeah,
previously.
I kind of honestly forgot about it until I don't know what brought it up, but I think it was a couple weeks ago. I was like, oh, I have to do this story. I think it was like a month ago maybe. But I was like, I totally forgot about this. This is something I've been actually meaning to research more.
It's crazy. It took us 20 episodes to get to
took us 20 episodes to be like, oh, right. This is like a huge story that I kind of have a connection to.
And the timing works out. Like this story is around this time. That's great. Yeah.
Okay, so I'll get into it. My OG headline is an article reported on June 30th, 1986. So not technically June 29th, but I don't like to dwell on the details.
We don't dwell on the details.
Let's change the subject on that. Also, I didn't even find the article as I've been saying. I sought it out this time. This very case, took place in the very apartment I used to live in with some friends in Halifax back in the day.
So crazy.
So crazy. This is the story of the murder of a young mother named Ann Marie Masson. This is a very tragic and absolutely confusing story, and it makes me want to like pull my hair out, and you'll see why.
Yeah, you've been dying to tell me about this all like week.
Mm-hmm. But before we get into it, I'll give you some context and background into the apartment itself and kind of me in this space. We moved into the apartment around September or August of 2013, I believe. It's all a bit of a blur, but I think it was 2013. It makes sense. We got a good deal on a 5-bedroom apartment, and we were probably only paying about like $500, $600
This is you and a bunch of girls you went to school with?
Yeah, so in a university, yeah. The apartment's address is at 2468 Robie Street, which is quite close to like the downtown area of Halifax, and it's a short drive to St. Mary's University and Dalhousie University, where we all kind of went.
And Kendra, what was your major?
St. Mary's criminology and psychology.
Full circle.
Here we are. So this apartment is one of 2 apartments in this giant house that is like split into these 2 apartments.
Okay, yeah.
And they definitely, both of them have seen like crazy amount of college kids go through them. Like they're just basically just for college kids. Yeah. It feels like. People don't know Halifax is a big college university town.
Right. Right.
Since there is just so many universities around.
It's beautiful there.
Yeah, it is.
I love it.
Me too. So how the apartment was laid out, you would walk into the front door, you would climb a giant staircase that goes very steep up, but then twists to the right. On the first landing, there is one large bedroom on your left, and then also like a small laundry area, and I think a little bathroom. I don't remember. Then there's another flight of stairs that goes from that landing up again, and it also twists to the right. So it's kind of like just going up
and to the right.
Up and to the right. At the top of the stairs, you'll find on the left side, like the hallway, which is part of just a long hallway, which is the rest of the apartment. Mm-hmm. If you're looking to the right, there's a living room area, but it looks like it could have been like an old bedroom as well.
Right.
So yeah, we have the living room on the right, the hallway on your left. To the left of the living room, so if you're looking straight at the top of the stairs, is the second bedroom, and that was my room at the time. That's where I was in.
The second bedroom, if you're looking left.
So you're going up the stairs, you're looking straight.
Okay.
It's just left to the living room. I know this is really confusing. Sorry. I should draw a diagram for this.
You're also, for those of you listening at home, Kendra's hand gesturing to the right as she's saying to the left.
Oh, gosh.
So if you'll forgive my confusion, but I'm sure listeners
you got it, right?
are very, they're following this along perfectly.
For sure. So if you start going down the hallway to the left, on your first left, you'll find another bedroom.
Right.
On your second left is the bathroom. Across from the bathroom on the right is the kitchen. And then if you keep following the hallway, you have 2 more bedrooms near the back door.
Okay. So it's kind of like a hallway
with
a bunch of bedrooms, a communal kitchen, and then at the end of the hallway, the opposite way, there's like a living room that used to be potentially a bedroom.
Right by the stairs. Yes,
Yep.
correct.
Yep.
Good job. Okay. We got it, guys.
We got it. It's simple.
I really like this apartment. This was a really cute apartment. We also sort of made all of our rooms quite cozy. I painted the room, which I never do anymore. But I think it was.
How long did you live there for?
Just a year.
Okay.
Yeah. We made it quite cozy. It was really, really close to downtown too. So we had a lot of parties.
Mm-hmm.
And I also had a little baby hookah that I would always pull out and like pass around, and I was obsessed with.
Whoa, Kendra's got a past.
I do.
I had a little tiny
baby hookah, and I loved it.
Now you have a little tiny baby, and you love her.
And I love her. Yes. It was also really, really close to a place called Tony's Pizza, which did I take you there? I don't remember. No, it's the best donair pizza like ever in Halifax, and I would eat one of those almost every week.
Love it.
Some garlic fingers. It was delicious.
Garlic fingers.
Yes. So anyways, it's 2013 and we have already just moved into the apartment, and I am Googling what the full address of the apartment is so that I can fill out some forms of some kind for work or something. I don't even remember. But I was looking for the postal code.
Yeah.
And that is when I found out what had happened there. And it was tough. Okay. So we are now in 1986. At the time, this apartment was a rooming house instead of a shared apartment. So each bedroom was sort of rented out as a separate individual living space with its own locks on each of the doors. And then they would kind of share the kitchen and bathroom facilities.
Makes sense.
It also sounds like the living room at the top right of the stairs when I lived there was actually a 6-bedroom at the time. Okay. So there was 6 bedrooms. I am going to preface this with the fact that not all of the details I'm about to say is from like a super reliable source or from the newspapers, since there is really not a lot of details released about this case by the police themselves. But honestly, it ended up being small details that I couldn't really verify. I'll tell you like the first general picture of what's being said about what happened. and then explain what I'm a little unsure of. I'm also going to preface this by saying it's quite gruesome. So also a heads up there.
Right.
So yeah, it is early morning at about 1:55 a.m. of March 29th, 1986. Some sources say the 28th, but I think it was confusing because it's 1:55 a.m. So
yeah,
it's confusing to some people.
True.
I actually couldn't verify it. I don't know. It's Easter weekend, and Brenda Simon enters the apartment door and climbs the stairs as she heads to her room after a night shift at work. She unlocks the door to room number 6, and there laying at the foot of her bed is Brenda's friend, Ann Marie Masson. Anne is fully clothed with a dagger in her chest and with 25 stab wounds all over her body. On the blade of the dagger is carved 666, and Satan is carved on its handle. Her wrists and neck are cut in what some described as a ritual-like fashion. It's also said that a meat cleaver and a butter knife lay on the bed. Pieces of rope are also found on the floor, and on a mirror written in lip liner read the words, "Brenda, you're next."
What? Actually?
The only details I'm a little unsure of, since I couldn't find the info directly from the papers in the archive that we have, is the name of her friend, so Brenda Simon, the bit about the meat cleaver, butter knife, and rope, and what the mirror message was written with. So whether it was lip liner or not. So honestly, really small details.
Okay, but there was a message written on there.
There was a message written on there, confirmed.
Yeah.
The dagger did have 666 and Satan, and the way she was posed. Yeah. But
Wow.
the same details. I know. We soon learn after her autopsy that Anne had actually died by strangulation, though, and that the stab wounds and the cuts to her body were all done after she had already passed. Which
Weird.
is good. I mean,
Yeah.
in the grand scheme of
But
things,
that's
like
strange.
horrible, horrible murder.
Yeah.
But I mean, 25 stab wounds is really
That's wild.
just awful. So, I mean, I'm not saying good, but you know.
Yeah, no,
you know
I
what
get. I
mean.
totally get what you mean.
This is a horribly gruesome murder, and the fact that she was displayed in that way is just also beyond. It's just so terrible.
That's like crazier. It's just like like someone murdered her
Yeah.
and then
And
propped
then
it up
did
to
that.
make it look like a satanic thing.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Anne was only 27 years old, working as a masseuse. She was also a wife and the mother of 4 young kids.
Whoa.
Isn't that so sad?
So sad.
Incredibly sad for her, her family, her friends, and her loved ones, and just so senseless. I also don't know exactly which bedroom this took place in.
Yeah.
So sources just say room number 6. So that would mean either the first landing bedroom, that one big bedroom I was saying, in that first landing, or one of the bedrooms near the end, near the back door of that hallway.
Yeah.
Was probably most likely if it was
6.
going in order.
And you were in what number?
I was
would
in
that put you
technically
in?
probably 2 or
Okay.
3,
Okay.
depending. Yeah,
Okay.
probably 3.
Right.
Yeah, so I don't think it was my room, but
That's so crazy.
it's crazy.
That's crazier that you even were able to sleep there.
I
After-
didn't look up
didn't
the
look
dirty
into it.
details. I knew something about it. Something was written on a mirror, but I actually didn't let myself do
That's
the research
smart.
because
That's
I
smart. You're
knew myself and I knew I would be way too scared to sleep there. So I just kind of I did really good on not freaking myself out enough. So
Yeah.
I kind of protected myself in that way.
Crazy.
Anyways, yeah. Either way, though, the bedroom was likely close to a door. I'm having to guess.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Investigators trace Anne's steps, and they learn that at 3 p.m. the day before, Anne had left her home at 30 Lemon Walk, which is located in Spryfield, just outside the city, so only about a 15-minute drive for those non-Haligonians.
It's funny that you call them Haligonians.
Everyone calls them
I would have
Haligonians.
called them Halifaxians.
Sounds dumb.
Doesn't sound dumb.
Sounds
It makes
dumb.
sense. Like Torontonians, you wouldn't call them Torontonians.
I love the word Haligonian. I also love saying Haligonian.
Haligonian is a nice word. I'm not
It's-
saying it's not a nice
it's
word. I'm
pretty
just saying,
awesome.
why isn't it Halifaxian? Why is it Haligon? Because is it
It is
Haligonian region? Is that like a thing? Like,
Mm,
because it's not Torongonians.
the greater Halifax area. I don't know. She left her home to go to the apartment on Robie Street to visit her friend that was living there. So I'm assuming that person, Brenda Simon,
Yeah.
who's living there. So, of course, the investigators are confused because we have a satanic killing and a threat on the mirror to the person who actually lived in the room. They also only seem to know that she left to go to visit her friend that previous afternoon. So then Why or how did that same friend then go to do a night shift, and then return to her friend murdered in her room? That's the question here.
Like, did she leave her friend in her room just chilling?
Yeah. So to me at this point, I can only see maybe someone else who was living there or knew Brenda, or someone somehow came into the rooming house who shouldn't have been there. Came in, and maybe she was staying at her friend's place that evening for a reason. I'm not sure. Maybe they had some drinks and she wanted to sleep it off.
Yeah.
Before driving home, or she wanted some time away from the family. Like there's could be so many
just
reasons.
Visiting her friends, but it's unsure. Yeah.
But then when police searched Ann's home at 30 Lemon Walk, they did find some interesting things. Police supposedly found some photo albums containing images of Ann and her husband in satanic poses and rituals.
They supposedly found that, or they did find that?
Nope, they did find that.
What?
Sorry, they did. I know, I kept saying supposedly, but I did find a good source.
That was like
one.
a good source. Police found photo albums containing images of Ann and her husband in satanic poses?
In satanic poses and rituals. The one iffy source says one of these images apparently had Ann with a knife posed over her chest in the same ritual, sort of the way that her body was found in.
What?
Yeah. One source, which is another a bit iffy, but it quotes the Chronicle Herald. I just couldn't find the Chronicle Herald source. Said that Ann was not involved in prostitution, but there was some indication that she could have been involved in the local cocaine trade along with a possible roommate. But again, we don't know that for sure, and it's just what some sources are saying. But I mean, even if she was like whatever.
Yeah, cocaine's equals Satan.
Yeah, like this doesn't scream drug-related killing to me. Like this is like quite planned, and
it's a display.
The coincidence of like her and her husband doing these things already, and then her at her friend's house being.
This is the most like I feel like questions that we're gonna have on this podcast of like, what do you think happened? But, sorry, go on.
Only about 2 weeks after her murder, on April 15th, police did have a 25-year-old suspect arrested and charged with her murder. But at his preliminary hearing, where a number of witnesses testified, side note, they also had a crazy amount of security for this hearing because his life was in danger. Like people were threatening to kill this guy.
Because of how crazy this was.
I don't know the details. I don't know. But I don't know if it was like a certain family or someone involved who I don't know.
Okay.
Anyways, they were getting a lot of like death threats from this guy. Yeah. But he did have a number of witnesses testifying. The charges were then dropped because the only physical evidence that they had was the fact that his writing resembled the writing that was found on the mirror threatening Brenda.
And that, I mean, like,
what?
That's like hardly evidence.
There was also totally, yeah. There was
like not evidence.
That's one of the questions
I guess
too.
Why they let him go?
Because unfortunately, there was a publication ban on that hearing, and I cannot find any details of what happened in that courtroom whatsoever. And so this is all we know about this case, basically. And to this day, the police do not know what happened in those 11 hours between her leaving her house and when she was discovered.
Wow.
Yeah.
So left her house, like last seen leaving her house,
3 p.m.
and then found
at 1:55 a.m. the next day.
Crazy. Wow.
Yeah, this story makes me want to like reach out and ask for more details because it's so frustrating, like how little details there are. It sounded like maybe about 8 or so witnesses took the stand in the hearing. And yeah, like were some of those people from the rooming house? Like were they living there? Mm-hmm. Were some of them witnesses who maybe saw this guy that they charged?
Like they must have had something else other than the handwriting to pick
for
this
sure.
guy
Like
up,
did someone?
That's wild.
It is wild.
And how do they even get his handwriting?
How do they get
his handwriting to be like, oh, this matches? Also, like if I'm scrawling something on a mirror, with lip liner, supposedly, it's not going to look like my handwriting.
No, totally. Yeah, for sure. Also, was like Brenda on the stand, and what was her story? Like why Ann was still in her room when she left for work, and did she see anyone hanging around? I don't know. It's
Crazy.
just there's so many questions. Like it's so weird. It's like, did anyone hear anything or see anything? Because like the police know that there was like a bunch of people already like in the house during the murder.
Yeah, so it was a full boarding house.
Yeah. And then there's like the satanicness of the case that's just so confusing. Like it's not even like she got murdered by someone who's like mentally unwell, who's living at the rooming house. Like it was very particular
and then
to
if they found those
her
photos,
lifestyle possibly.
The fact that they found those photos is crazy. That's nuts.
Like did someone follow her or were her friends in on it? Like did her friend?
I don't know.
Like, come on, answer me. I'm so frustrated about
We're
this.
spitballing here. Just asking
I'm
questions.
just asking so many questions. I have so many questions. Yeah, no other charges were ever brought to anyone else in relation to this case. As of this past March 2026, it has now been exactly 40 years since her tragic murder, and the police have continued to put out news articles urging the public to come forward with information on the case. They said in a recent press release in March that investigators hope that the passage of time will encourage someone to come forward with what they know. It is never too late, and what might seem like an insignificant detail may help progress the investigation. Investigators also continue to say that they know several people were inside the rooming house and have been asking people to come forward with any information.
Wow.
Still, 40 years later. Her case is part of the Nova Scotia Department of Justice Rewards for Major Unsolved Crimes program, which offers cash rewards of $150,000 for any information leading to the arrest and conviction of the person responsible. If anyone out there has any details at all, first call them, then email us
at goes to the Gazette at gmail.com.
Because we need some more details. I'm glad now that I was able to do a bit of a deeper dive into the case because I've been meaning to do it, and I just haven't. And so it was really nice kind of around the 40th anniversary of her death to kind of do that.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully someday soon we find out some more information and hope that her family and friends are one day able to get some more answers and justice for their loved one, because it's a brutal one.
That's crazy.
Young mother.
So sad.
4 kids. Yeah.
So sad.
Just horrible.
Like what I found really difficult about finding stories in the 80s kind
Mm-hmm.
of thing is like a lot of things would happen and we kind of know about the progression of newspaper and reporting on crime now a little bit, just
a little bit.
through physically just looking through newspapers, like hundreds of papers for each story. And we can tell how storytelling and how talking about crimes has changed over the years. It got a lot more like, this is the update.
Yeah.
And moving on to the next. Whereas like in the 20s, 30s, 40s, it was almost like they were giving updates on cases weekly.
Always. Yeah.
Always. You can always track a case way easier in like the 10s, 20s, 30s
For sure.
than in the 80s and 90s, which is kind
Maybe
of...
it's just because there was an overwhelming amount of stuff happening
like
at that point, or
with
printing
TV,
is easier.
like a lot more stuff happening on TV. So there's probably even news bulletins that were completely lost to time in a way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow, that's such an insane story.
Wild, yeah, and horribly sad.
Okay, so now we'll transition into my story, which is also equally insane, and not a different type of insane.
Different, yeah, fair.
Different. I will say that yours was like maybe on the 29th, your OG headline.
Yeah.
Mine was on the 29th, but it was a retrospective on a past crime that took place in 1980. Still counts.
It's our part.
Okay, Kendra, my story comes out of the Park City Daily News out of Bowling Green, Kentucky. But as per usual, our story does not take place in Bowling Green. As I said previously,
The pit.
We're in the greater Pittsburgh area, the GPA.
And we're feeling tachycardic.
We're feeling tacky tonight. It's a tacky night.
Tacky night.
But we got to go back to get to the root of my headline. We're going to go back to 1979, 7 years prior to my OG headline.
Okay.
It's around noon on Saturday, December 29th, 1979. A young boy walks across a bridge spanning the creek in the wooded area of the Loyal Hannah Dam. Loyal Hannah Township is about 40 miles or like 50 minutes outside of Pittsburgh. The boy scans the nearby woods for places to set small hunting traps. He decides to duck into the woods just off the road and stops as he comes across something. About 30 to 40 feet off the road, he finds a body. The police were quickly contacted and the area was taped off, shut down, and almost immediately ruled a homicide.
Dang.
The reason for this? The man had been shot twice in the back of the head and once in the chest with a small caliber weapon. He was fully clothed but stripped of all identification. Detective Harry Deladane from Greensburg District Attorney's Office also mentioned that even the man's dentures were missing.
Oh, wow.
Because of the nature of the crime, as well as the missing identification, police were considering this a professional job.
Okay.
The body was brought down to the Allegheny County morgue in Pittsburgh, where he was to be identified. The following day, Sunday, December 30th, he was identified as Peter A. Lovato, 49, a currently unemployed security guard.
Mm-hmm.
20 miles away in Penn Township, Peter's car was discovered, abandoned with its motor running.
Oh.
This was how they had been able to identify him, figuring out whose car it was, contacting those relatives, and then unfortunately being like, hey, this guy's missing. Does this guy look like Peter?
Okay.
According to the autopsy, he had been dead for a little over a day, which put the murder on December 27th.
Okay.
In the following days, the police drained the nearby Loyalhanna Creek in search of the murder weapon, but nothing was recovered. And we will double back to this murder weapon later.
Okay.
It's now the afternoon of Wednesday, January 2nd. Police are still on the hunt for Peter Lovato's killer when they receive another call over the radio. Body found in a Pittsburgh parking garage.
Oh, no.
The body of a woman in her mid-20s was found in the trunk of a Ram Charger, shot in the head, possibly in the chest as well.
Oh.
So Peter Lovato,
So the same thing.
shot twice in the head and in the chest. This woman shot in the head and the chest.
Brutal.
It was a parking garage security guard that actually found her on a routine check. It had pulled into the garage around 9:30 a.m. on New Year's. A parking ticket indicated the time of entry.
Okay.
The body was identified as Marlene Sue Newcomer, 26, single mother to a 6-year-old boy.
Oh, horrible.
Yep. And she was a widow as well. So that boy was now an orphan.
Oh, poor kid.
She was a Sunday school teacher, a seamstress, and an avid bowler.
She seems nice.
She was, by all accounts, super nice.
That's so sad.
And also, interestingly, like a super cautious person.
Mm-hmm.
Like she would tell her parents, like, hey, like, don't pick up hitchhikers. Like, don't do that. You're going to get murdered if you do that sort of stuff.
That was
like,
me.
Yeah, it's like
cautious.
you. Yeah. Growing up in a coal mining community, Marlene was one of 12 kids, having 7 sisters and 4 brothers. She had red hair, green eyes, and was around 5'2". As I previously mentioned, she was a widow. Her husband had committed suicide, and she had to take some time off work. So she was actually due to start back to work on January 2nd. But she hadn't showed up to work. It was like she took like 6 months. She took like 6 months off. Like it was within the past. In 1979, her husband committed suicide.
And it's so sad for the kid too.
So sad.
Goodness.
Ridiculous. She was supposed to start work on January the 2nd.
Oh, man.
And she just never showed up to work. The next day, on January 3rd, the autopsy had put Marlene's time of death early on New Year's Day, January 1st.
Mm-hmm.
She was last seen leaving her boyfriend's home after a New Year's party in Vandergrift, Pennsylvania, 45 minutes outside of Pittsburgh, around 12:30 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
When interviewed by Lee Bowman of the Pittsburgh Press, shout out Lee Bowman, he did a bunch of really good like reporting.
Oh, reporting for you?
Yeah, he's just a good reporter.
That's good.
He was getting lots of quotes from people. So
okay, good.
The police said, we're not sure if she drove the truck in by herself or if there was a man or another woman with her or not. If there was, we have no descriptions at this time.
Sorry, it was her car, right?
It was her car.
Her car, okay.
Yes. Yeah. So there was no sign of any struggle inside the vehicle. It was very neat and clean. Right now, we have no idea where she was shot, except that she had been dead for more than a few hours.
So it was kind of like a professional hit thing going on.
It seems like
but in a serial killer kind of way.
Are knowing what they're doing.
Yeah. Okay.
Which is really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Needless to say, currently they had no leads.
Mm-hmm.
If there was a theory that Marlene Newcomer and Peter Lovato's death were connected, they had not really shared it with the press at this time.
Okay. So people thought it was separate at this time.
Yeah, it was like on similar newspapers, but there were different columns for these murders. It wasn't like this person strikes again.
Mm-hmm.
It was just like, oh man, because it was realistically a different township, like 50 minutes apart. So on the same day that the autopsy had gone down for Marlene, tragedy had already struck early in the morning on January 3rd.
Mm-hmm.
Near the location of the party Marlene had left was the community of Apollo, Pennsylvania. Shortly after 5 a.m., Officer Leonard C. Miller, 21, of the Apollo Police Force radioed in. He was going after a speeding car that had run a red light. What felt like moments later, Officer Miller radioed in again, asking for an ambulance, stating he had been shot.
Oh, no.
Police rushed to his location, but it was too late. He had already passed away.
Oh, that's so sad. Okay.
Yeah, it was only his 3rd day as a full-time policeman. He was a rookie cop, 21 years old. He was part-time for 3 years, and it was only his 3rd day.
That. Yeah.
He was also the county's first black cop.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
That's so
and
sad.
what they also hammered in and this made me really sad, what they also hammered in a lot of papers was that he had always wanted to be a police officer.
Oh, that's brutal.
I know. It gives me chills. It makes me so sad. He'd always dreamed of being a police officer since he was a kid.
Sad. Okay.
Yeah.
Horrible.
Leonard had died of a gunshot wound to the abdomen, and he had also been shot in the left chest near the shoulder. He had been shot with a small caliber weapon, same as Marlene and same as Peter.
Right.
The police immediately cordoned off the area and began to search for clues. The vehicle that had been originally pulled over was a silver gray Lancia sports car.
Okay.
The police put out a bulletin over the radio to keep the public on lookout. After this, the car was discovered about 35 minutes away near Monroeville, Pennsylvania.
Mm-hmm.
No traces of whoever had been driving it. It was registered to a man by the name of William Nichols. And we'll come back to William Nichols.
Okay.
Now, here's where the case kind of breaks open in a super strange way. Like,
Okay.
I love when we're doing these stories and, police will find a clue or a break out of nowhere.
Nowhere. Yeah.
And this really felt like it was just happenstance and, this is crazy.
Okay.
So it all has to do with a man by the name of Daniel K. Montgomery, 34. Enter Daniel K. Montgomery.
That one actually scared me a little bit.
Sorry. Montgomery was a man from West Virginia who had a warrant out for a series of holdups in a few Pennsylvania townships. By all account, he had a crazy West Virginian accent.
Okay.
That's the bad West Virginia.
West Virginia.
Late on January 3rd, a few detectives and officers were in downtown Pittsburgh searching for anything that could give them a lead. They're kind of just hanging around.
Yeah, looking around.
Yeah. One of the detectives noticed a man with a gun walking around the street. And it wasn't really... I'm unsure of how the gun was being presented.
Yeah, like it was in his hand.
I don't know. But the detective approached him and spoke
hand.
with him. I know. Maybe he had a gun hanging out of his back.
Maybe.
He just had it tucked in.
Yeah, okay.
I didn't actually look into Pennsylvania's conceal or carry laws in 1986. It's America. I assume people are allowed to carry guns.
Assume.
But the way he was doing it, it alerted the police officer.
Okay. Mm.
So the detective approached him and spoke with him. The man had a thick West Virginia accent. It's Daniel Montgomery. Police immediately subdued him and arrested him, interrogating him about the small caliber weapon he had on him.
Oh, interesting. Do you think they noticed it was a small caliber weapon?
Maybe.
And
it's a 38 caliber gun.
They were like, that's what we're looking for?
Potentially, I guess, because it's kind of a gun that looks specific. I don't know. All guns kind of look the same to me. Someone's going to listen to this who knows stuff about guns. But
I don't know any guns.
Small caliber weapons, do they look different than AK-47s? Yes.
Yes. Oh, I know that. I do know that. Fortnite.
So Daniel Montgomery tells them that he got it from some people up in the Edison Hotel who had just killed a cop. Yep.
What?
I know.
Okay.
And that's how the case cracked open.
Wait, so
he said
it's him, right? Like he's the dude?
Daniel Montgomery said he got it from some people in the Edison Hotel who had killed a cop.
Oh, I just assumed he was lying right now, actually.
Potentially. One of the officers, a man by the name of William Mullen, who actually went on to be sheriff in at least 2017. I didn't look him up actually again. But yes, he was a rookie at the time.
Right.
He inspected the firearm and found that there were a few spent casings inside, which led to some credibility to Montgomery's story.
Okay.
Needless to say, the police headed down to the Edison Hotel to arrest the men staying there. Side note, on our trip to Pittsburgh, we actually were not there long, but we drove by the site of where the Edison Hotel used to be.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
fun.
I think
is it like a famous
It looked
thing?
it looked like an empty lot now.
But is Edison Hotel like a famous old
it
hotel?
was at the time. So Edison Hotel, I'll get into this a little bit later, but there was kind of it wasn't like a gay village, but there were a lot of gay clubs in the area around Edison Village. And Edison Hotel sometimes was used as a hookup spot for some LGBTQ plus members of the community.
Crazy though that he was just like, oh yeah, I got it from these guys. They just said they killed a cop. Just out with it.
Yeah. But also, if I don't want any trouble and I just got a gun from people, I'm going to tell them that.
I guess so.
If it's not my gun and I really did get it. What's crazy is it was.
But also, why would you take the gun that just killed a police officer? Because then if it traces back to you somehow, then yeah, you're.
We did some holdups and are police going to actually arrest me and take out this gun and ask me about this gun? Probably not. I'll probably just.
Well, what
the
if
gun.
they have the spent casing? I know.
He's not smart.
That's just fair.
Or he didn't believe them. Maybe.
It's just a crazy thing to
it's insane.
Come out with.
Later into that evening, police emerged from the Edison with 3 men in tow. John C. Lesko and Michael J. Traviglia, both 21 years old and from the Pittsburgh area. Police also arrested 15-year-old Ricky Rutherford.
15.
So Traviglia was a C student who had played saxophone in the school band. He was a self-admitted drug user and devil worshiper, is what they said in the in the papers.
Okay.
Lesko was the oldest of 6 illegitimate children fathered by 5 different men. That's not my description.
Okay,
That's what they're
like...
saying in the paper. I should have said, quote, illegitimate children.
Okay, I was going to say, Blake.
I know, that's pretty brutal, right? I actually couldn't. I was really struggling when I was writing the script to just try and figure out how to word this differently. 6 children fathered by 5 different men. There you go. I didn't have to call them illegitimate. Yeah, they're not real kids. They're fake kids. They're illegitimate. So he was raised in an institution for children whose parents are deemed unfit to raise them. Ricky Rutherford was, by all counts as well, a juvenile delinquent. Not too much on him, as he was a minor. His name actually wasn't in the papers. I had to do separate digging to find his name.
Good job.
Thank you very much.
Nice.
The suspects were off the streets and couldn't cause any more damage. Unfortunately, though, there was more damage that had yet to be revealed.
Yeah, I'm so interested where this is going to go. Because, like, what are these 3 kids, like, professionally doing all these murders?
We will get
We'll get into it.
On the morning of January 4th, the next day, the body of William Nichols, the owner of that silver sports car, was pulled from the lake at Blue Spruce Park near Indiana County by Pennsylvania State Police.
Damn.
William Nichols, 31, was a choir and musical director at St. Anne's Church in Castle Shannon, a borough of Pittsburgh. He was described as a genius by the pastor there. He was a stylish dresser who liked to ski and sail.
Oh,
yeah.
He sounds like a cool guy.
He has dark hair, stood about 6'2", and was slender as well.
Oh, that's really sad.
He was described by neighbors as something of an introvert. He lived in a small apartment alone with his off-white poodle, Frosty.
Oh my God.
Yeah, described as, quote, cute as Christmas.
So horrible.
You guys, this was a hard story to research. All of these, and not that like sometimes I'm not comparing victims in different things.
No, never.
But reading about all of these victims and
when you get so much detail about their
story, and there were just lots of like stories about these people. They did lots of interviews with all their family members. Like they've done a really good job, and I'll get to this, of not forgetting the victims in this case.
That's good. That is really
good.
It's
a lot of the time.
Honestly,
it's about
a lot of the time,
it's really commits the crime.
For sure. It's hard to find details on like some of these people. Even Anne, unfortunately, like I wasn't able to get much out of anything. Of kind of like I knew her job and her friends and husband and kids, but like I honestly had not much details about her life, which really sucked because I would have liked to. But
totally.
Anyways.
So William Nichols' body, when it was pulled from the small lake, was found bound and gagged. Cause of death was drowning. I also found other things that was like they couldn't quite figure out the cause of death, but one paper said cause of death was drowning, so I'm kind of going with it.
He was probably tossed.
But it was also, remember, it's January. It was a frozen lake that he was pulled from.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That's so sad.
In the coming days, John C. Lesko and Michael J. Traviglia both confessed to most of their crimes. Through their confessions, as well as Ricky Rutherford's testimonies, we finally have clarity on what went down from December 27th to January 3rd.
Yeah, like what were they doing? Just running around being horrible
so the press started calling this the kill for thrill.
Awful.
And that's kind of what it ended up being. So this is a pretty definitive timeline that I've assembled here of Lesko and Traviglia and Ricky Rutherford's movements from December 27th to January 3rd/4th.
Okay.
So on the evening of December 27th, Lesko and Traviglia abducted Lovato from the Edison Hotel in Pittsburgh. As I said previously, there were some gay clubs in the area around the hotel. It was said that the intention of Lesko and Traviglia was to abduct gay men. So Peter Lovato was a gay man. He had a wife, but I found some really interesting articles where his wife was like, I knew he was gay, but I loved him so much.
Yeah. Oh,
so sad. It's so sad. And it was the same thing with William Nichols as I will get to that.
Okay, yeah.
They entered Lovato's car, held him at gunpoint, and bound his arms and legs. They drove to the bridge where that boy was walking across, where they pushed Lovato, still bound, over the side and into the icy water. After hearing Lovato scream below, they then went to look for him. So he didn't die. He actually got out of the water. So searching with a flashlight in the darkness, they found him standing beneath a tree. Quote, if we don't kill this guy, we're all going to jail, Traviglia quoted Lesko as saying. At which point, Traviglia shot Peter Lovato once in the chest and twice in the head.
That's insane.
Yeah.
And for him to
They abducted this guy.
be able to get
bound
himself
him.
out of the water, and then they come down looking for him.
Think of how
Like,
terrified. I just think about how terrified Peter Lovato probably
Of course, yeah.
It's
That's
his
so
yeah,
horrible.
It was brutal. Early on New Year's Day, Marlene Newcomer picked up Lesko and Traviglia as they were hitchhiking. Something she frequently told her mom and siblings not to do.
She
But
knew better.
maybe she had probably like just a couple of drinks, and it was New Year's Day, like early, and she was probably like, you know what? So she was quoted as saying, "Come on, getting out of the fog," she had allegedly told the two hitchhikers. When they got in the car, Lesko pointed a gun at Marlene, and the pair ordered her to pull over, where she was then handcuffed, put in the back seat, and covered with a blanket. Lesko and Traviglia drove to a convenience store and robbed it, with her in the back seat still.
Wow.
Then they returned to the car, where Lesko, fearing she might now ID them, shot Marlene, missing his first shot but shooting twice more, killing her. So this is where I was a little confused in the research, because they had said the car was completely clean.
Yeah, that's
and she was
right.
placed
Remember
in
you saying
there.
that, 'cause you weren't sure if it happened there.
Yeah, so that's why maybe like they took her out to a different spot and they killed her there, but
And put her in.
and then put her in.
Mhm.
So
Horrible.
yeah. When asked by detectives why he killed her, Lesko said, "Because Mike told me to do it."
Interesting.
Mike is Mike Traviglia.
Mm-hmm.
The following day at about 11 p.m. on January 2nd, 1980, Lesko and Traviglia were together at a hot dog shop in downtown Pittsburgh when they ran into 15-year-old Ricky Rutherford. So Ricky Rutherford wasn't with them for those first two killings.
Okay.
Ricky had partied with Traviglia before, so they were aware of each other.
Ricky was 15.
Yes.
Crazy.
Yeah. But these guys were also only 21.
Still.
Yeah. Everyone's decently young.
I mean,
in this
21,
story.
yes, that is young-ish. Nah.
No,
they know
like
better.
I'm not saying they don't know better.
And
I'm
15-year-old
saying, like,
also knows better.
Yes.
Of course.
Yeah. I would say most children know better not to kill people.
Of course.
At the hot dog shop, Lesko and Traviglia asked Rutherford if he wanted to go partying with them, to which he agreed. Traviglia then instructed Lesko and Rutherford to wait for him in a nearby alley. A few minutes later, a car came down the alleyway and beeped its horn. William Nichols was the driver, and Traviglia was sitting in the front passenger seat. The men entered the car. Traviglia pulled out a gun and shot Nichols in the arm immediately. After Nichols was shot, Traviglia ordered Nichols, still in the driver's seat, to drive out of the alley. The group left Pittsburgh and later stopped so Traviglia could take the wheel and move Nichols to the back seat where they handcuffed him. And this is where, like, a little trigger warning for people, this gets like pretty dark and tough.
Okay.
In the back seat, Lesko repeatedly punched Nichols while calling him a queer, asking him if he wanted to perform oral sex on him, mocking the sound of a voice, and threatening him with a knife.
These people are deranged.
Like pieces of
ridiculously
human
horrible.
garbage, just like horrible, deplorable people.
Mm-hmm.
So Traviglia, who was driving, punched Nichols as well and was begging. Nichols was begging them to stop.
Of course. Yeah.
Instead, they laughed at him and continued to torture him until he eventually passed out. Lesko and Rutherford then gagged the unconscious victim. The group drove to Blue Spruce Park. There, they took Nichols' wallet, keys, and other personal effects. Traviglia, taking Rutherford with him, went down to find a heavy brick or rock, which Rutherford carried back to the car. Reminder, this kid is 15 years old.
Yeah.
Lesko had pulled Nichols out of the vehicle, his hands still cuffed and his legs now bound together by a belt. Traviglia broke a hole in the surface of the frozen lake. He and Lesko dragged Nichols down to the lake. Ricky Rutherford actually stayed at the car. A short time later, Traviglia and Lesko returned to the car without Nichols.
Wow.
Yeah. Bro, on the eyes and tossed him in.
Wow.
Yeah. After this, the men drove to Traviglia's dad's house where they stole a gun. Then they returned to Nichols' gray sports car and drove away. Most of this time, Traviglia and Lesko were driving and sitting in the passenger seat, with Ricky Rutherford sitting in the back. After driving around in the early morning of January 3rd, the group came upon a police officer, Leonard Miller, parked at the side of the road. Traviglia allegedly said, "Let's have some fun with this cop," and then he sped past him in the stolen car, honking the horn. Officer Miller actually decided not to pursue them right away, so Traviglia tried again. I found him probably not trying to pursue them right away. It was like, oh, these guys are like looking to...
Okay.
If you're driving by a cop and being like, beep, 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 he's like, okay, that's probably bad news. Like, maybe I'll just like let it go. They're just speeding, whatever.
Yeah, no,
These are
totally.
just kids.
Yeah.
So once again, they tried, and speeding past him, then running a red light and sounding a horn once more. This time, Officer Miller unfortunately took the bait, turned on his lights, and sped towards them. This is when he made that call into the station that he was going to be trying to pull over a car that had run a red light.
Right.
It was at this point that Lesko told Ricky to lay down in the back of the car because, quote, it might turn into a shooting gallery.
It's deranged.
Yep. Traviglia pulled the car off to the side of the road, stopped, and rolled down his window. Officer Miller parked behind them, got out of his car, and approached the men. When he came up, Traviglia shot him twice. Officer Miller returned fire, breaking the passenger window before falling face down on the side of the road.
Horrible.
The men sped away, commenting how the cop fell when he was shot, and Lesko stating that they would have to get rid of the car now because someone would notice the broken window. That's all they're even like concerned about. Crap, we got to get rid of this car.
Oh no!
Just kill the guy.
Like,
yeah.
I don't. Yeah.
The car broke down about 10 miles later, and the group began walking on foot. They were eventually able to get a ride to Pittsburgh from an acquaintance of Traviglia. It was then that the men returned to the hot dog shop that they had met Ricky Rutherford at and came across Daniel Montgomery from West Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
After that, they all went to a room at the Edison, gave Montgomery the gun, talking about how they shot a cop, like bragging about it.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
And from there, we kind of know the rest.
Yeah.
They were arrested after police interrogated Montgomery.
Mm-hmm.
On February 3rd, 1981, Michael J. Traviglia and John C. Lesko were found guilty of their crimes and sentenced to death.
Mm-hmm.
It only took the jury an hour and 15 minutes to deliberate. Yeah.
It would take me 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Not
Ricky
even.
Rutherford testified for the prosecution and was granted immunity.
Mm-hmm.
He gave the full lowdown of it.
whole story.
Everything they did. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Lesko showed no emotion while the verdict was read. Traviglia, as he was escorted out of the courtroom, pointed a finger at the co-prosecutor and said, "Are you happy? Bleep." I don't know what he said. It was some profanity.
Mm.
"I'll be back to get you for this."
Nope.
He was not.
Okay,
No,
good.
He was
Yeah.
not.
I'm glad. I was like, did they get it out somehow?
I know.
was
I
like,
kind of found that funny because it's
Yeah.
like, "I'll be back to get you." And he was not
he
back.
did not.
After so many years. They stayed on death row.
Okay.
There are so many times that they like appealed. It was like, oh, it was
Back and forth,
convicted, but or like it was, yeah, like it went back and
stayed
forth
and
as
then,
everything.
yeah.
So they just stayed on death row. On September 4th, 2017, Michael
Whoa.
Traviglia died of natural causes at the age of 59 while incarcerated at SCI Green, a prison in Pennsylvania.
See ya.
He had spent 36 years on death row without being executed.
Hmm.
As for John Lesko, he is still on death row
Wow.
at SCI Phoenix, also in Pennsylvania. He is
Mhm.
currently Pennsylvania's longest serving death row inmate.
It is wild how long people are on.
You
death
can
row.
just
You
stay
just
on
sit
death row, and there's
forever.
so many close calls throughout the years for this guy as well.
Yeah.
So I'm happy at least one of these men is still rotting away in prison.
For sure. Yeah. Wild.
So the headline that I originally found was "Rookie Cop was fourth victim of two convicted killers," and that was, the retrospective that was published on June 29th, 1986.
Mm-hmm.
So all of their victims were so young and had
Yeah.
horrible violence inflicted upon them.
Horrible.
Absolutely brutal.
Like suffered.
And it's interesting how
scared.
police were like, these are professionals.
Horrible.
They were not
They were
professionals.
not.
They were flying by the seat of their pants.
That's true. Yeah. I
and they were
didn't
just
think of
killing
that.
people for a thrill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
For Officer Leonard Miller, a bridge is named after him.
Mhm.
There's a memorial for him in town, like in Apollo. A scholarship bearing his name helps Apollo Ridge high school seniors who plan criminal justice careers.
That's nice.
Since 1980, Friends of Officer Miller have held a memorial service every 5 years as a tribute.
Mm.
The memorial service honors only Officer Miller. One of the organizers said, "We are always mindful of the other victims, though. Peter Lovato, Marlene Newcomer, and William Nichols."
Yeah.
And
that's nice.
That's my story.
Horrible.
Yeah.
Horrible people.
Yeah, these guys were. This was a really tough one to like
Yeah,
read about.
that is
like,
a tough one.
I didn't think that it would like be
Mhm.
as kind of gruesome
Yeah.
and as
Just
targeted.
Blatantly.
And I feel like it didn't really hit as hard as like a lot of the papers that these guys were extremely homophobic.
Yeah.
And the reason they killed Lovato and Nichols was because they were gay.
Yeah.
And they abducted them after like trying to like seduce them.
Yeah, that's
like there was a
disgusting.
whole part that I guess I didn't include that I forgot to include
Mhm.
where they like, yeah, they picked up these guys. They were
Yeah.
like, hey, like, how's it going? Like they were
Right.
just
Like,
trying
they
to,
tried to
yeah.
like.
And then
yes,
once it's like,
yes.
let's go back to your car, they abduct them.
Horrible.
Yeah, and killed them.
So
It was in the like horrible ways. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Not even in a quick, easy. It's like,
yeah.
let's make this as
Yeah.
terrifying as possible. For you.
Happy,
It's horrible.
happy that they got caught, that everything happened. One of them's dead. One of them's on death row. He'll be there forever.
Yeah.
They're not getting out of prison anytime soon.
No. Yeah. Good.
Now it's time for
Extra.
Extra, read all about it. Blake and Kendra got a couple little fun little tidbits they found while researching their stories that they want to share with you.
I'm going to go first. This is height is no reason to dump a nice fellow. These are one of those like dear. There's one called Dear Ann.
Yeah.
You know how there's always like, dear this person. I have a question. She gives an answer. So this is Dear Ann. I have a beautiful daughter who goes to university. She is 21 and has been seriously dating a fellow who is 22. Ralph is a nice enough person, but he is at least 3 inches shorter than my daughter.
Brutal.
This does not
Brutal.
seem...
Cut him loose.
This does not seem to bother them, but it bothers me. I have talked to my daughter, tried to explain that they make a very odd-looking couple. Whoever said love is blind was certainly right. She thinks I am foolish and has no idea what I am talking about.
Shout out Nick and Vanessa Lachey.
Yeah, whoever said love is blind, certainly right.
Because this guy's so ugly. This guy's so short. What is he, 2 to 3 inches shorter than my daughter? Not on my watch.
This young woman has everything going for her. Looks, brains, and personality. Many tall fellows have shown an interest in her, but she insists on throwing herself away on this runt.
No!
She calls him a runt.
A runt.
How can I make her understand that Ralph's height may not bother her now, but it could make her very unhappy later on in life?
Like later on in life when she's trying to reach a jar on the top shelf and he can't help you?
Oh, no.
I knew I shouldn't have married a runt. Runt is crazy.
Signed, Concerned Mom.
Yeah.
Well, here's the response.
Back up, Mom. Oh.
Dear Mom, why don't you just MYOB?
Mind your own business.
Mind your own business. It's obvious that your daughter has a lot more sense than you. I can't think of anything dumber than to dump a guy because he's short, except maybe to go with one because he's tall.
Wow. Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
Oh,
Runt
that is
crazy.
hilarious. Runt is wild.
Also, I love the use of MYOB. I haven't heard MYOB in so long.
MYOB.
Why don't you just MYOB?
Okay, so my extra is called Plants Stolen.
Oh, no.
Waterloo. And this is someone writing in, writing into the editor as well.
Okay.
So her name is Penny Spore, which I love.
Oh,
Spore, plants, I don't know. Penny Spore.
Yeah.
I can't believe it. I got up the other morning and someone had stolen my plants right off my front porch. Why were you so picky? You only took 3, not all 6.
So she's mad they didn't take all of them?
Some of my plants were given to me and the others I bought. But what gives you the right to steal them from me? Please bring them back. If any of you visit someone's house and they just have 3 new plants, they just might be mine.
That's so funny.
To whoever you are who took them, I hope they die on you so you can't enjoy what was someone else's pride.
You know what? Respect on her putting this into the paper. Because like
Penny Spore at 1254 Sheldon Street.
Sometimes you just feel like you got to say something. And she truly did. And good for her.
She's like, you know what?
She was like, you know what? I'm going to make sure someone hears my word about my 3 plants stolen.
I
and
hope
not
they
my 6.
die on you.
Hope they
Why
die
not
on
all
you.
6?
Amazing.
Why just 3?
Why just 3? If someone has any
So someone has
3 new plants all of a sudden, probably mine. I love that one.
She doesn't even wish her plants like a happy life. She's
No,
like, I hope they
die on you.
I just hope those plants die.
What a random thing to steal, though, too. Yeah,
Also,
I get it.
I love writing into the paper about that.
So
Love it.
funny. So this is also one of those like right into the paper things.
Yeah.
With a Q&A. This one's husband's retirement leads to marital crisis. Q. I manipulated my husband into marriage 40 years ago. I was on the rebound. I've always felt I was cheated because I couldn't have the man I wanted.
Okay.
My husband was away a lot. When he was home, I was quote unquote polite to him and we had no major blow ups. Now he is retired and home a lot, and I know I never even liked him very much. How am I going to live cheek by jowl with him for the 20 years left of our lives?
What's cheek by jowl? Just like next to each other?
I guess.
Cheek by jowl.
I've never heard cheek by jowl.
Because women have cheeks and men have jowls, maybe?
I don't know. Signed,
Rude.
Fearing the Future.
Fearing the future.
Answer. 40 years is a long time for anyone to live with a chip on her shoulder. Let's hope it hasn't totally warped your view of what it takes to live happily. You may feel life has cheated you once, but you have been cheating life, yours and your husband's, ever since. It's not possible to feel sorry for you, even though it may not be necessary. You obviously have had enough capacity to feel sorry for yourself that it isn't necessary for other people to. There are ways to improve the quality of your life and replace self-pity with self-admiration. It starts by making new evaluation of your husband. If he's a dumb lout and as self-indulgent as you have been, leave him so that each of you has a chance to find a friend, if not a soulmate. If you happen to notice that, despite your attitude towards him, he has been caring and nurturing, then grapple him to your soul with hoops of steel and start giving. You'll be surprised how much you'll get in return.
Quite a long-winded
Crazy answer. But, I mean...
Okay.
Could have just said, let him go, let him find a friend.
So it's this woman that regrets marrying this man. Mom, you were right.
I don't
I
like
never
my
should
husband.
have married him because he was short. Okay, mine is Mississauga man, 21, guilty of reckless skiing at Whistler.
Oh, interesting.
A 21-year-old Mississauga man has been found guilty of reckless skiing at Whistler Mountain. Crazy how that's what the title would suggest.
Insane.
Christopher Wilcox. Shout out Christopher Wilcox.
If
This
you're
was
out
on
there-
June 29th, 1986. You could still be alive, most likely. You were charged with criminal negligence causing bodily harm following a March 1985 accident at the resort north of Vancouver. The incident left skiing instructor Ingrid Wipkma with a broken arm, broken collarbone, broken ribs, and a punctured lung.
Oh, no.
How hard did you hit that woman, Christopher
Really
Wilcox?
hard, dude.
Yeah.
Go slower.
Friday's conviction is a major event for the safety of skiers, said Roger McCarthy, safety manager at Whistler Mountain. County Court Judge John Vanderhoop, Judge John Vanderhoop, okay, said Wilcox showed a wanton and willful disregard for the safety of others. When he approached a knoll on a beginner's hill at full speed, he soared through the air and collided with Wipma. Her last name's kind of tricky to say. So she was moving 4 young students into a nearby chairlift.
Ooh.
Yep.
Poor girl.
He will be sentenced July 10th.
Dang. Okay, this is just a last little nugget. This is the funniest teen movie I've ever seen in eons. Take a day off to see Bueller.
Oh.
Hilarious, ... A sure winner. Ferris Bueller's Day Off begins in a mood of high exuberance and never sinks to the ground. Ferris Bueller could be this summer's answer to Back to the Future.
And it was.
Baby.
That's so fun.
And then it's just a poster for
Matthew
Ferris Bueller
Broderick.
because it just came out in June.
Love that. That's so fun.
This month. Yeah, so that's kind of funny. That's it.
Well, Kendra, that's our episode for today.
Wow.
So
easy.
I just
Not
want to
easy.
tell everyone.
Not easy.
Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Ghost of the Gazette, where we will be posting photos and clippings from today's episode.
Subscribe to us on YouTube at Ghost of the Gazette. You can also follow us and support us on TikTok.
Tink tonk.
For our next episode, we will be jumping to 1895, back to the 1800s.
The 1800s.
It is kind of a breath of fresh air in a way.
Yeah.
Like I don't love doing the more recent-ish stuff.
It's
like,
tough.
It's tougher. Yeah.
It's really tough.
But yeah, anyways, let us know in the comments your feelings and your thoughts on today's cases. That's what I want to know.
That's what I also want to know. Guys, email us.
Talk to us.
I can't keep sending out pleas for emails.
Blake just really needs to email
I need
someone.
people to talk to.
If you have any thoughts on the Ann Mason case, let us know as well. We love you all. Thank you again for stepping back in time with us, and thank you for listening.
Until next time.
Bye.
Ghost of the Gazette is written, produced, and haunted by Blake Garby and Kendra Clark. Original theme by Kelly Steinhoff.